All right, should be live now, guys. What's going on? We got 6 games to talk about for NBA. Kind of an ugly slate, to be honest. I'll talk about it all more, but this is a slate I'm limiting my exposure to. I just don't have a great feel on it. There's no real standout value, in my opinion. There's different ways to go. The value plays are just guys I don't really want to play, like options like some of the Heat guys like Kellyo and Hero. Like you got the Dallas guards maybe viable. I just never feel good about the rotations there. So this is a slate personally I'm going super light on. I like the last slate a lot more. This one I am limiting my exposure. So if you guys are new to the channel, new to the live streams, what we do here is I will go over, first of all, let me open up Bovada first because we got to go over the odds as well. Go over the odds, go over any injury news we got, and then kind of give a player by or team by team breakdown, cash plays, GPP plays I'll recommend, and then I'll get to questions at the end. So let's jump into it. We got Nets, Bucks. Again, I mentioned it. This is just such an ugly game. 231 over under. The Bucks are 18.5-point favorites. Mavs and Kings at 236.5 over under. Jake Anderson with the $5 super chat again, man. Thank you. This shit hard to help. Thank you so much. You do not, again, super chats are not necessary, but greatly appreciated. Yeah, it's a hard slate. I agree completely. And that's why I'm kind of limiting my exposure, but I'll do my best to break it down for you. And of course, again, any questions, just let me know. So thank you again. And let's get back to it. So, yeah, Mavs Kings at 236.5 over under. The Mavs are 6-point favorites. I'll talk about it a bit, but I kind of like this game, the pricing in that game, a little bit more than the late game, which is I'm scared about, but I have no exposure right now to Portland and Houston, which again really scares me. We have Suns and the Clippers at 229.5 over under. The Clippers are 8.5-point favorites. The status of Lou Williams currently up in the air. So if Lou Williams is out, I think Pat Beverly. Well, Pat Beverly would be in play too, but a guy like Reggie Jackson becomes a little bit more viable. Magic and Pacers are 225.5 over under. The Magic are 1.5-point favorites. I mean, a game that two a little bit more solid defensive teams, but there's two plays in my opinion that really stand out in that game. It's Vucevic, it's Malcolm Brogdon. As long as Malcolm Brogdon's not going to be limited, I think he's one of the best plays. And then Vooch, I think, really stands out as well. So those are two of my favorite plays of the day. Celtics Heat a 220 over under. Boston are 3.5-point favorites. Potential value here for Miami. Again, I didn't really mention Tyler Hero, but he's min price. I never feel good about Miami's rotations. Like Spoelstra, if Tyler Hero's not playing well, if he's not shooting well, he'll just give the minutes to Nunn. He'll give the minutes to Dragic. So that's why I'm not going huge on slate. I just don't feel good about really any value plays. Houston and Portland at 244.5 over under. Houston are 4-point favorites. Yeah, I mean, that game obviously looks good, but the prices are up on the guys. So it's a really tricky slate, in my opinion. But let's get into it. Let's get into team-by-team breakdowns. So start with Brooklyn. Obviously, if you guys haven't done, or if you've been doing a little bit of research here, Brooklyn is super shorthanded. No LeVert, no Joe Harris, no Jarrett Allen. Already all those guys out that didn't come to the bubble. Kyrie, KD, obviously, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan. So they're super thin in that aspect, but they still have bodies, right? They still have 11 bodies now. So I would pump the brakes here. I would not get a lot of exposure to Brooklyn personally. A lot of the guards are priced up, so I have no interest in the guards. Again, they have 11 active bodies. Jamal Crawford's priced to 4.7. They said they're going to play him in like short stints. I don't know what exactly that means. If I had to guess, I would say about 15 minutes from Crawford. Now, if he gets extended a little bit, like if Jamal Crawford plays like 20, 25 minutes, then I could see him getting value at that price because he's a guy that is just going to score the ball. But right now, it just makes it tricky for me to really get behind Jamal Crawford with kind of the unknown of the minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to Tyler Johnson or Garrett Temple or Chioza, their prices. There's just no way. TLC, I'm going to pass to. The only real interest here I have is the two bigs. It's Kurucs at 4.3 and Donta Hall at 4.2. Kurucs is starting at center. I think that's a big plus for him. I assume we probably get at least 25 minutes from Krug as long as he's not in foul trouble. Now, if you look at the last couple games, 5 fouls in both those games. So he's a guy that will be in some foul trouble. He's playing the center position, so it does worry me because I currently do have him in my lineup, and every single slate foul trouble concerns I've had to deal with multiple players. So that does worry me a little bit, but I think he's the guy I would consider, as well as Dante Hall. I think those are the two. Dante Hall obviously not starting, but I think he should get at least 15 minutes off the bench, maybe a little bit more. So that's where I would look to. The last play I do want to mention, and this is just a GPP play, is a guy like Justin Anderson. He's min price. Now, sure, he only played 10 minutes that last game against Orlando, but had 11 fantasy points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a block. I mean, this is a guy that does fill up the stat sheet. I think he probably gets closer to 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more. So if you want a super, super low-owned, cheap value play, I think your guy is Justin Anderson. I think he goes super under the radar, but I think about 20 minutes or so, right? So, but nothing I can feel like say with confidence, right? That's why this slate is tricky. There's no real standout value plays, but I think he is worth consideration. I think the minutes will be around 20 or so. Milwaukee, I have no interest in anyone. They're going to blow out Brooklyn, most likely. 18.5-point spread. I'm not getting into Giannis. Now, Giannis is going to be probably 5%. Like, this will be the lowest you'll ever get Giannis for ownership. So if you want to take a shot and just hope Brooklyn can somehow keep it close, then yeah, Giannis could absolutely crush his salary. I'm not taking the risk there, right? So if I was making multiple lineups, again, I always only use one lineup. But if I was making like 10 lineups, maybe throw Giannis in one, and again, just hope Brooklyn somehow keeps it close. He's going to be super low-owned. Again, same kind of breakdown there for Middleton and Bledsoe. Bledsoe's going to play limited minutes. I wouldn't go there. But Middleton, kind of the same thing with Giannis. Maybe throw him in like one lineup if you're making a lot. I'm not getting to 5-7 to Brook Lopez, even though it's a revenge game. Again, I'm just super worried about the minutes. I'm not getting to DiVincenzo or George Hill. Their elevated price points with Bledsoe now playing. The value, like, they just have so many guys. Marvin Williams, Ilyasova can get run. Sterling Brown, Korver, Connaughton will all get some run. They have Robin Lopez. They have like DJ Wilson and Thanos Antetokounmpo at the end of the bench. Sure, one of those value guys will probably have a good game, maybe two. But trying to guess which one it is and trying to figure out what the Mets will be, it's too much of a headache. So I'm not going anywhere in Milwaukee. It's a complete stay away from me. Let's move on to Dallas and Sacramento. Let's see. So, Dallas, Luka at the top at 10-7, I think looks interesting. And I think he's going to go low-owned today because, personally, I think a lot of people are going to go to a guy like Westbrook, maybe Harden, or like Lillard in the late game. I think Luka goes a little bit more under the radar. But I always mention Luka. I love that he fills up the stat sheet. I'm not scared of Sacramento defensively. They've been playing at a faster pace. When De'Aaron Fox is in the lineup, Sacramento plays at a much faster pace, so that's obviously good for everyone in this game. I really like Luka, and I think he goes under the radar here for spend up plays. Now, sure, it's a 6-point spread. There's a slight concern, it could get out of hand, but I like Luka a lot. I think he goes under the radar. Porzingis, kind of the same thing. Now, personally, I would rather get to Luka for a little bit more, but Porzingis has had back-to-back 50-plus fantasy point games. Again, I'm not scared of anyone in Sacramento defensively. Holmes, Harry Giles, or Bjelica, whoever they try to throw on him. I'm not really scared of any of those guys. So Porzingis, again, more of a low-owned play, but I still have a little slight interest. Again, I would prefer Luka, though, if you're going to make me pick one. THJ at 6-1, I'll pass. Seth Curry is doubtful. Now, he played 23 minutes, was in foul trouble that first game, then 35 that last game. So those minutes have to go somewhere. My concern is it's just trying to figure out a Rick Carlisle rotation is such a headache, right? They could give minutes to Kleber and run Porzingis at the 4. Dorian Finney-Smith might get a few extra minutes. DeLon Wright will probably get some extra run. Trey Burke will probably get some run. But again, your guess is as good as mine is what Trey Burke is going to get. I think he could play 15 minutes. I think he could play 25 plus. I don't know. They have Boban that will get a few minutes. Justin Jackson, JJ Barea, even Antonis Cleveland got a little bit of run. So, again, like, can you target one of these value guys? Sure, but you're not going to feel great. Now, if you're going to make me pick with the value, it would be Trey Burke or DeLon Wright. Again, I just don't feel super great about it because the value guys, it's just, they're going to kind of stand around and let Luka and Porzingis do their work. So it's a tricky one. And again, the minutes are, you never know. So if you're going to make me choose, it's going to be DeLon Wright. It's going to be Trey Burke. But don't be surprised if either of those guys play like 15 minutes, right? I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if JJ Barea gets in the rotation, if these other end-of-the-bench guys get run. So, right? I just don't feel good about it. Let's move on to Sacramento. On the Sacramento side, I think De'Aaron Fox looks really solid at 7-3. I don't think he's going to pick up that much ownership. The first game against San Antonio, he went absolutely off. Shot the ball 33 times, 154 fantasy points. The last game was a blowout against a tough match against Orlando. Don't be worried. Against Sacramento, they have to win. So I think Fox will play big minutes. I think 35 plus as long as this game stays close. He wants to push the pace, right? He wants to play at a fast pace. Whenever De'Aaron Fox gets the ball, he's just going to push it. So I kind of like him at 7-3. I think his upside is 40 plus, 50 plus. Again, I'm not really scared of Dallas defensively, and I think this game goes a little bit lower owned compared to Houston, Portland. So I like Fox. I like Doncic in this game. The center rotation, I don't mind taking a shot on Holmes because this is a GPP play, right? If Rashawn Holmes, if I knew he's going to play 32 minutes, he'd be my favorite play of the day at 5-2. Well, maybe not my favorite, but he would be up there with Brogdon and Vucevic as my favorite plays. I think he could play anywhere from 20 to 32 minutes. So if he hits a low end, he's probably not going to get you there. If he hits a high end, I think he could absolutely crush. So I would have exposure to Holmes and GPPs. The concern is Giles played really well in garbage time. They also use small ball Bielitsa, and Dallas isn't necessarily a big team, right? Porzingis, like they could run Bielitsa on him or throw even like a Harrison Barnes on him. So that is the worry. The minutes aren't secure, but the upside is high on Holmes if the minutes get extended. So I like him for GPPs. Let's see. Bogdanovich, Hield, Barnes. If you're going to make me choose, it's going to be Bogdan. The minutes have been solid for him, 32 and 31. The price point just looks okay, so I'm not like overly excited about that. Bielitsa, the minutes are going down on him. Again, it was a blowout. Sure, 4 or 5 looks okay. Kind of a buy low candidate here, so I guess he's in play. Bazemore's been playing well off the bench, but still not getting a huge run. Yeah, again, another one that I think is in play. Giles had a huge game, but again, that was a blowout. We don't know what the minutes are going to be. He only played 4 minutes in the first one. I would not be surprised if Harry Giles played 5 minutes in this game. I would not be surprised if he played 20 plus. Just don't know what the rotation is going to be with the bigs there. So, again, not a good feeling there either. And then I wouldn't get anyone below that. So, yeah, really my favorite play there is Fox, obviously at 7-3. I think Holmes looks good as a GPP play. The minutes are a little bit unknown. If he does hit that high end, I think he could really crush his value. Everyone else, like Bogdan's in play, Bielitsa, buy low candidate in play, Bazemore, I think in play, but nothing I'm like overly excited about there. So let's move on to Phoenix and the Clippers. Let's see. We have Phoenix coming in as a 8.5 point dog at 229.5 over under. I think Phoenix goes low owned, but I kind of like Phoenix today. A guy like DeAndre Ayton at 7.5, I think is too cheap. Sure, the last game got in some foul trouble, but I think normally we get 35 plus minutes. And Phoenix's team, they have to win. Clippers as a team are solid defensively, but he's been matched up a lot against Avicii Zubac, maybe JaMychal Green. So I think DeAndre Ayton could have a good game. I kind of like him as a sneaky play that I think goes under the radar, but I have interest in DeAndre Ayton. I think he's solid, and I like that he's power forward eligible as well. Let's see. So, other options here. Booker at 8.4. Yeah. Again, I would rather get to Ayton, personally, on the same team. Now, Rubio, I think, is interesting at 6.7. Another guy I think goes super, super low owned. But what you get with Rubio is he'll fill up the stat sheet. Rebounds, assists. He can score the ball, too. Now, the matchup isn't really great here if he's going to get some Pat Beverly defense, but I would assume that the Clippers probably run Pat Bev on Devin Booker. I mean, I guess I could always run Paul George or Kawhi and Booker too. So either way, it's not really the best spot here for Rubio. Like I would prefer Ayton for a little bit more on the same team. I'm going to let others chase the Cam Johnson game. DeAndre Ayton was in foul trouble. That's why he got more minutes. I'm staying away. Sarge at 5.4. I'm not going to get to 5.4 for him. It just doesn't make sense in this slate. Mikal Bridges 4.9. I'm going to pass. Like Carter and Payne, if you're going super, super stars and scrubs, will probably get 20 to 25 minutes. you don't feel good about playing either of those guys, but it would open up more to get you a lot of those stars in there. You could take a shot, right? But I just don't have like a great feeling on them either. So all in all, for the Clippers, really it's Ayton for me. If you get to Booker or Rubio, that's fine. I would prefer Rubio for the cheaper price. But really the guy that stands out to me is DeAndre Ayton. I think 35-plus minutes if he stays out of foul trouble and if the game stays close. On the Clippers side, so the big news right now is Lou Williams, right? This is pretty big because if Lou Williams plays, that's a hit to Kawhi and Paul George. Not a huge hit, but definitely a downgrade. And then that takes like guys like Reggie Jackson and Pat Beverly out of play. Now, if he plays, I would assume probably he's going to be limited, so I don't think I would even want to play Lou. And if that's the case, if he's going to play and not be limited, then I would like him at this price. So this is kind of slate-changing news because if, again, for all those reasons, if Lou Williams plays, it takes a hit to all the other guys. If Lou Williams is going to be limited, and then it kind of just middles everyone out. And then if Lou Williams is going to play and not be limited, then I would like him a lot. Kawhi and Paul George at 9-1 and 8-1, I think look good. I think these guys go under the radar just for the reason that the late game, in my opinion, is going to get a lot of ownership. Guys like Westbrook, Lillard, maybe Harden. So, yeah, I think these guys go a little bit lower owned, but they're going to play 30-plus minutes if the game stays close. And the matchup's great against Phoenix. So I like Paul George. I like Kawhi Leonard. Again, I think they go a little bit under the radar too. Yeah, again, Reggie, Pat Beverly, strictly dependent on Lou Williams' status. If Lou Williams plays, I don't really have interest there. If Lou Williams is out, then I think you could look to either of those guys. Now, Zubac is an interesting play here at 4-5. I kind of like him as a value play here. First game against the Lakers was in foul trouble, only played 15 minutes. That second game played 24 minutes, did not see any fourth quarter run because of the blowout. Who knows, right? I think he could have came back in the fourth quarter if that game was close. So Zubac could play 25-plus minutes in this one. Again, they kind of need him defensively to guard DeAndre Ayton. I'm not scared of Ayton as a defender. My concern is that Ayton gets in Zubac in foul trouble, right, because he's been in foul trouble basically the first couple of games. But I think if Zubac stays out of foul trouble, I think we could get 25-plus from him in a close game. And if that's the case, I think you could have a really good game for his price. So another guy, a cheap guy I kind of like for a GPP play. Marcus Morris at 4-2, I'm probably going to pass. And then JaMychal Green is the last guy I'll mention at 3-7. Only played 17 minutes the last game. The minutes are a little volatile with him. Now, sure, it was a blowout, but he still got a little bit run in the blowout. Like, I think he could play anywhere from 12 to almost 30 minutes. So he's in play for value, but again, you don't really know what the minutes are going to be like for him. And that's it. Let's see. Let's move on to Orlando and the Pacers. So this is a game where I think a couple plays really stand out. Again, Vucevic, I think, is one of my favorite plays at 7-8. Back-to-back games where Orlando's got blown out, 27, 24 minutes. He still had 37 and 47 fantasy points in that time. Now he gets Indy. I'm not scared of Miles Turner defense. Again, if Miles Turner gets in foul trouble, he could absolutely have a field day like we saw with Embiid when Turner got in foul trouble. So I like Vooch a lot. I think he's chalky. I'm eating the chalk here. He's one of my favorite plays at 7.8K. I think he's about $1,000. Maybe even $1,500 too cheap. So love Vucevic. Aaron Gordon at 7-4, I think becomes a little bit more viable now with Jonathan Isaac out too. Again, don't be worried about the minutes. These are all guys that are going to play 30-plus minutes if the game stays close. So I kind of have interest in Aaron Gordon too, but would prefer Vucevic if you're going to make me pick. Again, Isaac, sad that he's, a torn ACL, right? Yeah, so that's really sad. I mean, he's a high-usage guy, but wasn't playing big minutes off the bench. So Ross at 5-3, I'm going to pass. I guess Fournier is in play. Normally, I don't like playing this guy, but he should get around 30 minutes if the game stays close. And the price point does look pretty cheap on Fournier. The reason I don't like playing him is he is kind of scoring dependent. If his shot's not falling, does have a low floor, but I completely get if you go to Fournier here. I do. So I think around 30 minutes is what we would expect in a close game. So I have interest in Fournier. My concern is, again, he is a little bit scoring dependent, but if he's shooting the ball well, he's a guy that can get you 40-plus fantasy points. Let's see. The other options, like Markelle Fultz, DJ Augustine, Michael Carter-Williams are going to split the point guard minutes. I'm going to stay away there. I wouldn't get to James Ennis. Again, a lot of these bench guys got more run because of the blowouts. I would not consider them, to be honest. So that's where I would look to on my Orlando exposure. It's Vucevic, by far my favorite play. I have interest in Aaron Gordon, too. Unfortunately, I have interest in Evan Fournier, but that's kind of where I would look for Orlando. On the Indiana side, so Obviously, we have Sabonis still out. Oladipo is... We don't have a status here yet. I don't think we're going to get that too, which kind of sucks because that is a later game, and that could change the complexity of the slate if he plays. Let's see, Seth Curry ruled out. Again, we expected that. Nets will start Tyler Johnson, Temple, TLC, Thomas, and Kurucs. Again, mentioned, I think it's only the bigs for me. It's Kurucs or Dante Hall. Bucks are starting Bledsoe, Hill, Middleton, Giannis. Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez is starting? Hold on. Sorry, yeah, Brooke Lopez not starting. Okay. Oh, Sano with a $5 super chat too. I missed that. Sorry, man. Thank you so much. And yes, Brooke Lopez not starting. Let me do a quick Twitter search on that. Thank you, Sano. Really do appreciate it, man. Do not need to, but the super chat is greatly, greatly appreciated. Let's just do a quick Twitter search here. Why is he not playing? Lineup, nope. We'll start ahead. Okay. Doesn't. It looks like he's still going to play. He's just going to come off the bench for some reason. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist active too. So the only guy I think I would consider now, let me go back to Milwaukee real quick, is Robin Lopez. He's going to start, which is a plus. I don't know what the minutes are going to be like. I mean, could Brooke Lopez sit? I don't know. Like, I think there's a decent chance Brooke Lopez might not play, but they still have so many bodies they can use. Robin Lopez would be the guy I would consider. I don't have no idea what the minutes are going to be like. I think he could play 15 minutes. I think he could play maybe 20 plus. I don't know. It just, that just throws a wrench into it. Sure, I think he's in play, but still not like my favorite play. Just I don't know what the minutes going to be like. Is Brooke Lopez going to come off the bench? Is he not going to play at all? They have Ilyasova. They have Marvin Williams. They have DJ Wilson. They have bodies they can use. So it's tricky. Lou Will playing. Let's see. Is he playing? Let me refresh. Lou Williams will play. Okay. So yeah, that kind of takes Reggie, takes Pat Beverly out of play for me. Hopefully we get some sort of news if he's going to be on a minutes limit. If not, I think Lou Williams is a really solid play. So that's something we have to keep an eye on, right? If Lou Williams is not going to be on a minutes limit, he's 5K and he's playing against Phoenix. So I would like him a good amount there. Again, that's something hopefully we get news on soon. I'll try to keep an eye on that. But let's go over to Orlando really quick here, guys. So TJ Warren's at 8K. I've been on him last couple games. This is where I'm hopping off. I know, 70 fantasy points back-to-back games. A tougher spot here against Orlando. I still think he's in play. If for some reason Brogdon or Oladipo or both get ruled out, then that's when I would look to TJ Warren. Now, if one of Brogdon or Oladipo or both play, I'm going to pass on TJ Warren. So I would have interest there, but only if both those guards are out. Miles Turner at 6'5" is an interesting contrarian play. Stayed out of foul trouble, played 33 minutes, 34 fantasy points. Not bad. It's just a tough spot against Vucevic. I'm a little bit worried he gets in some foul trouble. I think if he stays out of foul trouble, he could have an upside game. Let's see. Other options here. Again, Oladipo, we don't know his status yet. He missed the last game. Brogdon, if he's not going to be limited, I think he's one of the best plays of the day at 5'4". Played 35 minutes. Now, sure, it's a back-to-back. I'm slightly concerned, but hopefully get some sort of clarity here with the Indiana guards. Aaron Holiday would be the guy I would look to. If both Oladipo and Brogdon are out, I think Aaron Holiday would become one of the better plays of the day at 5'1". But that's really it for me for Indiana. Let's go. Or let me I'm trying to refresh this, trying to keep an eye on the chat. We got 15 minutes to lock, so I got a little bit of time, I guess. Let's go to Boston, Miami. This is a game that, on the Boston side, I think there's really only one guy I would consider. Now, Tatum at 8-3, I get if you get to him, but I just prefer other plays at similar prices. So I'm probably going to pass on Tatum. Again, his range of outcomes is really high. Like, he can have a low floor where he's not shooting the ball well. Like, we saw 23 fantasy points, but if he's shooting the ball well, we saw 60 fantasy points from him. So not a guy I really like getting to when Boston's fully healthy, too. Yeah, I mean, he could go for 50-plus if he's shooting well, but, again, does have a low floor. Kemba's been limited to 19 and 22 minutes. I think those minutes maybe go up a little bit, but still, I'll probably pass there. I don't think I'm going to get to Brown or Hayward or Marcus Smart. The only other guy I'll mention here is Enes Kanter as a punt at 3-4. Now, with a lot of the value plays I've mentioned on the slate, I don't have a good feel for the minutes. And again, full disclosure, that's why I'm not playing big on this slate. I think there's just too much unknowns with a lot of the value. Ennis Cantor, I think, could get anywhere from 5 to 20 plus minutes. Now, obviously, if he hits that high end, he will absolutely crush. So I like Cantor, but I just don't know what the minutes are going to be like. We do know, one thing we do know is Miami does run big, right? They have Bam that'll play good minutes. Callio's backing him up. So I don't know, right? I think Cantor's an interesting play. I like him for value. I just don't know what the minutes going to be like. So that one's a little bit tricky. Again, I would put him in the same territory as a guy like Richaun Holmes. If Cantor and Holmes hit the high end of their minutes, I think they could absolutely crush their salary. If I knew Ennis Cantor was going to play close to 20 minutes, he would be my favorite value play of the day. But I still think there's a chance he might only get like 5-10 minutes. So that's the issue there. Let's move on to Miami. Bam and Jimmy, I think, look decent at 7-7 and 7-2. The prices came down. They're both going to play 32 to 35-ish minutes. I think they look decent, even in a tougher spot against Boston. I kind of like the price on Bam, Jimmy, so they're more cash game plays for me. The other options, Robinson, Dragic, Nunn, Crowder, not overly excited about it. If I had to pick, I would go Jay Crowder, who's gotten 29, 34 minutes in back-to-back games. It is a revenge spot too, but still not like overly excited about that. Kelly Olynyk at 3-8, I think I got to mention him. Now, he's playing the backup 5, which is a plus. This is why I think he's more viable because Myers Leonard was a guy that was in the rotation. He's now out of the rotation. So Kelly O getting the backup 5 run. He's playing a little bit alongside Bam too. I know he's been shooting the ball well, so it kind of feels like chasing here. But with him playing the backup center, that's a huge boost to his value. So I think Kelly O could get somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. And again, if he hits that higher end, I think he could have a really solid day for his price. And again, he's been shooting the ball well, so maybe don't expect him to shoot that well, but him playing the backup center is good for him. It's a revenge spot too. So I have interest there in Callio. I have interest in Tyler Hero. I did not mention him in the video, but he'll be someone that will probably get around 20 or so minutes. It's just, is he going to shoot the ball well? If he's not shooting the ball well, again, Miami has a lot of other guys they can use. They have Nunn, Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder, airplane mode. They have a lot of guys. So there's no guarantee in these minutes for Hero, but he's 3.1K. Again, I know I'm saying this about a lot of value guys, but the minutes are just kind of up in the air for a lot of these guys. So Hero, Olynyk, I think are definitely in play for value. Don't hate Jay Crowder at 4.6, and I think Jimmy, Bam, as more cash game plays there look a little bit underpriced, even in a tough spot. Lastly, let's go to Houston, Portland. So kind of got to go a little quicker here. We got 13 minutes left. There's a 244 over-under. If you get exposure to this game, I think it's great. Again, I'm nervous. I have no exposure to this game right now. But Westbrook at 9.4 would be the guy I would look to. I think this is way too cheap. Him and Lillard have beef, so he's going to want to play well. 44, again, that was in overtime, so 39 and 38 minutes. I think he looks really solid. Again, I think he's going to want to play well against Lillard. I think Harden looks decent as well. Didn't get double-teamed as much there against Milwaukee, but I think he's someone that obviously has upside in a game like this, 244 plus over-under. So both the guards look really good here if you can get to him. The issue with getting to these guys is you have to take a shot on some of the value, which is there's no guarantee on a lot of these value plays today. So that's my thoughts there. I really like Harden. I really like Westbrook if you can get to them. It's just, what do you have to sacrifice to get them in? Covington, I'm not paying 7-1 for him. I'm not going to 4-8 for House. That's maybe like a late slate play. PJ Tucker's at 4-4. Sure, we'll play big Mets again. Kind of has to knock down those corner threes. I think he's fine if you land on him. Jeff Green will get about 15, 20 minutes off the bench. Again, fine if you really, really need value. But really my main exposure there would be Harden, would be Westbrook, or my main interest, I should say. Lastly, Portland. So Portland already announced their starters. The good thing with Portland is they're running an 8-man rotation. They have to win games. So these starters are going to get run into the ground. Lillard, CJ are both going to play huge minutes, 35 to 40. Again, Lillard is not like Westbrook. Westbrook's not like Lillard. There's beef there. They're both going to want to play well. CJ, again, 35-plus minutes for him. 8-2, though, it just feels okay. He can still have an upside game, though. Lillard at 9-9. Again, he's going to play huge minutes. Great matchup. It just feels like kind of a lot to pay for Lillard, so I like him, but I think he's more of a GPP play. I think Lillard could go for 70-plus in this matchup. I really do. But again, the 10K price, it's not like he's a discount. And then a guy like Nurkic, I think, goes under the radar, 8.5. 33 and 32 minutes, 50-plus fantasy points in both games. He's going to do it all. My slight concern is, does his minutes get limited here against small ball Houston? That is a slight concern, but I think he gets 30-plus minutes. He could still get you there at this price. And then Melo, 5'7", yeah, it's fine if you're going balanced. I'm not overly excited about Melo either. And then lastly, Zach Collins is at 4'3". He's been in foul trouble in both games so far. He's a guy that will always seem to be in foul trouble. I think we probably get closer to 30-plus minutes if he does stay out of foul trouble. The issue is he's playing alongside high-usage guys like Lillard, CJ Nurkic. But, again, this game is going to be played at a super, super fast pace. So I get if you go to Zach Collins. I think he's a pretty solid value play as long as he stays out of foul trouble, which he has been the first couple games. A guy, Gary Trent Jr., 2-score independent from me. If you get to him in the late slate, that's fine. If you get to him in the main slate, he's just got to knock down his threes. If he's not knocking down his threes, he has a floor of like 5 fantasy points. So that's the risk there. Again, he's been shooting the ball really well. I'm going to pass. I'll let others chase. Other options, again, Whiteside, I'm not interested there at 5K. Lastly, Mario Hezonja is at min price. Did only play 12 minutes last game, so that's kind of a hit. I don't think I would go there. All right, that's really it, guys. That's it for the breakdown. Again, we got about 10 minutes to lock, so let's get to some questions. We do have 232 viewers right now. If you guys are new and enjoy this content, would really appreciate if you hit a like button on this live stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Kelly Olynyk, yeah, I mean, I think he's in play. Again, it's good that he's playing the backup center, too. That makes him a higher floor. He's been shooting the ball really well, so wouldn't expect that to continue. But a revenge spot, I think we probably get around 20, maybe more for Kelly O. So, yeah, last piece to fit, George Hill or Trey Burke. Did they say George Hill was starting too? Was that right? Or did I read that wrong? Yeah, Bledsoe, Hill, Middleton add to the combo. I probably feel a little bit better about the minutes for George Hill. So I would go Hill, but again, Trey Burke could play 10 minutes, could play 30. That's a tricky part about this slate. Can you touch Kelly O? Yeah, I think you can. Again, him playing the backup center is a plus. It's just the minutes are a little bit more in question there. Let's see. Sure, my money has Burke for 22 minutes. I'd be happy with that. Yeah, I mean, I think Burke could get to that. It's just, Dallas, trying to figure out Rick Carlisle's rotations are a headache. 5,200 utility, who would you pick? And 47 utility, who would you pick? Okay, 57 or 5,200. Let's see, 5,200 utility. Who would I pick? I would go with Holmes or Fournier probably, or Lou Williams. I mean, we don't know what Lou Williams. If Lou Williams is not going to be limited, I like him a lot there at 5K. So it probably would be Lou if he's not going to be limited. Hopefully we get that news. And then 4-7, you said 4-7. Probably Jay Crowder or Zubac would be where I would go. I think Zubac's more the upside guy, whereas Jay Crowder probably more the safe play. So maybe Jay for cash, Zubac for GPPs. Let's see. Core. Okay, yeah, I'll be you guys a core today. So for me, again, I really do like Nurkic. I think he's one of the best point per hour plays right now at his price. As long as the game doesn't blow out. Or Vucevic, I should say. I really do like him. Brogdon, if he's not going to be limited, love Brogdon there at 5'4". Who else do I want to include here? Let's see. I will go Kurucs. Starting at center, that is a plus. Again, my concern is the foul trouble issues, but I think the 4-3 price looks decent enough to get him in there. Again, I don't really feel great about it, but I like the upside if he can stay out of foul trouble. I think probably 25 plus for Kurucs. And then lastly, let's see, who else do I want to go to? So I'm going to go with a lower owned option here. I like DeAndre Ayton today at 7.5. I like the matchup there. That's what I'm going to go with. Again, I think Ayton goes lower owned, but the first three should be a little bit more popular. All right, back to some questions here. Sorry if I missed your guys. It's going kind of fast. Is Brook Lopez playing? I haven't seen anything yet. Let me see. Let me Twitter search it again. I don't know why he's coming off the bench. I don't know. I mean, we don't have clarity, so I don't know if he's going to play or not. Kuruk's trapped, to be honest. Yeah, again, I don't really feel like amazing about Kuruk's. I don't, but he would be the value guy I look to in Brooklyn. He's starting at center too, which is a plus. I think we get 25 minutes from Kuruk if he stays out of foul trouble. So, sure, he could be a trap. Again, that's why I'm not playing huge on the slate because I don't really feel good about any of the value. Like, just straight up, I am not playing big on the slate because there's no real standout value. Again, guys like Cantor, guys like Kelly O, if they get their minutes extended, like, I don't mind going to Cantor at 3-4, really. I don't know what his minutes are going to be like. Tice or Kelly O for cash. I mean, what's Tice's price? He is 4.9. I mean, he probably is your cash game play, just as Kelly O's minutes are a little bit more up in the air. Dallas or Sacramento's game sneaky good game stack. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing Luka and I'm playing De'Aaron Fox, so that's how I'm getting different on this one. I think a lot of exposure for a good reason is going to Houston, Portland, and again, I'm really scared about fading that. Fox, Hero, Luka, Ayton, Vooch, Brogdon, Kurucs, and Kelly O. Yeah, you got my lineup again there, man. Zach Collins or Holmes? Let's see. Probably Zach for cash and Holmes for GPP. Again, if Holmes gets extended, I like the upside there. Ayton or Vooch? Vooch for me. This is my core, rounded it out with Butler, Westbrook, Collins, and DeLon Wright. Yeah, I mean, I think Jimmy looks pretty solid for his price. Westbrook looks pretty good. Like, I do like Westbrook a lot, guys. If you can get to Westbrook, do it. Again, I'm scared that I'm fading him at 9.4, but I think that looks like a really, really good price for him. I'm just getting a little bit different. Again, I'm going with Doncic, with Fox. And I'm only playing GPPs today. I'm not playing cash. Is Robin Lopez worth a play? I think he's worth it. The minutes are a big question mark. I think he could play anywhere from like 10 to 20-ish. If it's a higher end, I think he definitely have a good game. Get ready for this wild lineup. Brogdon, Fournier, Doncic, Anderson, Kurucs, Westbrook, Collins, Vucevic. I don't think that's super wild, right? I think Justin Anderson could get about 20 or so minutes. Giannis, little brother, any garbage time? No. Jimmy Butler or bust? I think Jimmy looks good for his price. I do. I think Jimmy, Bam are solid cash game plays. What's Jimmy's price at again? He's 7.2, right? Like, I just think that's a price play for Jimmy. That's too cheap. So I think he's a pretty solid play for his price. Hey, what about Ersan, DK? He balls and Giannis out low owned. I don't know what the Mets are going to be like. Again, they have him. They have Marvin Williams. They have DJ Wilson they can use. They have the Lopez brothers. It's not a good feeling for me. Westbrook and Fournier or Lillard and Crowder. I'll go Westbrook and Fournier there. Is it worth slightly downgrading another position to get to Russ instead of Dame? Toss-up, in my opinion. Yeah, that's kind of a toss-up. I think Russ will be higher owned. So Dame more a contrarian play. Dorian Finney-Smith, yeah, maybe gets a few extra minutes. Again, I don't really feel good about it. Going with Brogdon, Trent Jr., Butler, Kurucs, Robin Lopez, Westbrook, Ayton, Nurkic. Yeah, so that's a little bit more contrarian option, definitely with guys like Gary Trent, who's super scoring dependent. But other than that, I think it looks decent. And Robin Lopez, minutes a little bit up in the air there, so don't have a super strong take. I'm going Westbrook, Fournier, Warren, Kurucs, Lopez, Brogdon, Butler, and Fox. Yeah, again, a little bit more contrarian there, playing TJ Warren, but he's obviously been shooting the ball amazing. Hey, DK, Chioza and TLC or Hayward and Dragic? Or Chioza and THJ or Hayward and Dragic? I would go with Hayward and Dragic. Don't really feel good about either, but yeah, DK we think alike often. Yeah, it seems like you always come up in my lineup, to be honest. Luka Doncic or Trey Burke. Gary Trent, yeah, he's super scoring dependent. I'm going to let others chase it. Again, he's been shooting the ball really, really well. The price is up on him. I mean, obviously he keeps knocking on those threes, he's in play, but I'm going to pass. I might change Kelly O or Burke later if I want to get riskier. Yeah, that's completely fine with me. Like, I'm considering, and I have Kelly O in. I might go Cantor, but Cantor could play 10 minutes, so yeah. What about Sterling Brown? Again, he's in play with basically all those Milwaukee guys. I don't really have a strong take. Probably one or two of those value guys will have a really solid day, but trying to narrow down which one it's going to be is super, super hard. So for me, personally, I'm just staying away from it. TJ Warren going to go off for a third day in a row. I'm going to pass in TJ unless both Brogdon and Oladipo are out. If Brogdon and Oladipo are out, then I would consider TJ Warren. 3,900 for utility. Let's see, 3,900 utility. Really quick, I'll try to get to this. 3,900. Probably would be Kelly O or JaMychal Green for me, or Trey Burke. But again, the minutes a little bit more up in the air. So if I had to pick there, or Cantor, I think it would be Kelly O or Cantor for me. Jimmy at 7.2 is criminal. Yeah, I mean, I think Jimmy looked really solid for his price. I do. DJ Wilson in play, I probably wouldn't do it. Anderson and Smart or Kurucs and Fournier. Kurucs and Fournier for me. Bro, you chip in if you're fading Russ. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting a little bit contrarian. That's why I'm not playing cash games. Yeah, I gotta say, I think Russ looks really, really good. I think Russ is a cash game play at 9-4. I'm going Burke, Smart, I'm going Burke, Smart, or Tyler Johnson. Help Doncic, Kurucs, Fuchs, Biden, Collins. I'm going Burke, Smart, or Tyler Johnson. Well, what's Trey Burke's pro? Trey Burke is way cheaper than Smart and Tyler Johnson, right? Yeah, can't fade Russ here. Yeah, I mean, again, I am definitely scared about it, but I'm just going contrarian. Again, I'm going with Fox and Doncic, hoping that game turns into a shootout. I think it just goes lower owned, but cash game play for sure. Russ, again, a guy like Jimmy Butler, I think looks really good. Kurucs or Hall. It's gonna be Kurucs for me, but I think both are in play. Let's see, Brogdon, Butler, Bazemore, Finney-Smith, Vucevic, Lillard, Hayward, PJ Tucker, Ayton and Jimmy Butler, or DeLon Wright and Luka. It's going to be Ayton and Jimmy Butler there for sure. Shooting guard for DK Cash. I'm playing Tyler Hero. I don't feel good about it. I don't, but it just opens up things for me to get those studs in. So that's what I'm doing. Lillard, Trent, Leonard, Giles, Olynyk, Westbrook, Crowder, Jackson. Yeah, I mean, again, Trent Jr., I kind of laid out the reason why I'm not super high on him. He's been shooting the ball really well, so independent. You're playing Giles. I don't know if I would do that, to be honest. Fox, Hero, Butler, Kurucs, Porzingis, Brogdon, Collins, Westbrook for cash. Let's see. Fox, Hero, Butler, Kurucs, Porzingis, Brogdon, Collins, Westbrook, cash. Yeah, I think that's cash game viable. You're not playing anyone in the late game. I'm not. Again, that's why I'm not playing cash games. I'm just getting different. I'm going with Doncic and Fox, again, hoping that game turns into a shootout. I know the late game's going to be super, super popular, but that's how I'm going to get different here. If I was playing cash game, again, full disclosure, if I was playing cash games, I would probably get Westbrook in there. I would probably get Jimmy in there too for his price. Like a cash game lineup for me, again, I'll just go over it really quick. Well, I'll keep Brogdon in there. But a cash game lineup would probably be something like this for me. Jimmy, and then a guy like Westbrook. Then you have 5.3K remaining. So if you're playing a cash game setting, that looks pretty good to me. Again, maybe not Kurucs, but the value is tricky on this one. So like just the core guys, right? The core guys would be Brogdon, Jimmy Butler, Vucevic, and Westbrook for me for cash games. How do you feel about Musa? I'm not going to go there. I would rather take a shot on Kurucs or Donta Hall. Sorry, I meant Smart or Johnson. Marcus Smart or Tyler Johnson. I guess Smart. I don't really feel good about either, to be honest. Not playing it, but I like Fox, Zingis. Don't think Kings have anyone to stop Porzingis. Exactly. That's kind of why I'm going with that game. I just think it could turn into a shootout. No, again, I'm playing Luka. I'm playing Fox. We'll see. Kurucs only 21% for me. He's starting at center. I think we get 25 minutes if he stays out of foul trouble. That's the reason I went to him. Jimmy will do well. Yeah, I think Jimmy's too cheap. Kurucs 35 for me. Brook Lopez ruled out. Really? Did that just happen like right after lock? That's tilting because that makes Robin Lopez more play. That makes Ursan and yeah, Brook Lopez ruled out. Whatever. Westbrook or Dame, both are in play. Westbrook's gonna be more popular, but I like both a good amount. So Westbrook for cash, Dame for GPPs. Fox, Butler, Luka, Kurucs, Lopez, Brogdon, Kellyo, Vooch. Yeah, that looks good to me. Replace Kurucs with Kellyo. Brook Lopez 8% owned and it's ruled out. LOL. Brook Lopez out. Yep, same LL. Brook ripped 10% of those lineups. Kurucs 35% the $12 and $5. Okay, I think that's decent. Damn, I might have to take a shot at Robin if we knew that. Exactly. I mean, I would have taken a shot at Robin too, probably, because I think now we get closer to 20 minutes from Robin Lopez. So what's Robin Lopez's ownership? Do you guys know what his ownership is? I think that looks, I mean, he's going to probably have a good day for his price. I'm a little bit mad about that. Again, don't know why they wouldn't just rule him out right away with a guy like Brook Lopez. Anyone have Robin Lopez? Yeah, I'm trying to look for Robin Lopez. I'm looking in the $40 single entry tournament, guys, trying to find Robin Lopez. Dante Hall's 1%. Kurucs to me is 43% in the $40 tournament, so it looks like in the higher dollar, he's a little bit higher owned. Robin Lopez is 20% owned in the $40 tournament. So, yeah, I'm now nervous about that. He would have been someone I would have got to if I knew Brook Lopez was out. He's 20% in the $40 single entry tournament. So, yeah, that's a little frustrating, to be honest. But it is what it is. 6.9%, Robin 16%. Okay. Yeah, again, in the $40 single entry, he's 20%. But all right, guys, I got to get back to work here. So I really do appreciate everyone coming to check out the live stream. Hope you guys have a good day. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's important to do so. I'll try to keep you guys updated with news. Again, a guy like Lou Williams, like I mentioned, he's not being limited. I think it looks really good. But I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you all later.